Well, look, it's
welcome
like
to the madness, Jens. And
There we are.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the madness, everybody. Come on in. I was so tempted to pull up the Brady Bunch opening, but I didn't.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, we don't need copyright strikes. We don't need copyright strikes this early.
We probably would get a copyright strike if we ran.
Yeah, no, YouTube is really like cracking down on a lot of stuff. So, I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on in, everybody. It's an episode of Sunday Funnies.
A very crowded episode.
What are all these people doing here?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Having breakfast. It's like, what the heck?
Like I said off camera, I figured we'd talk about funny animals today because we have a couple of special guests and everybody wants to show up. So it's all good.
Yeah.
So no complaints at all, folks. Come on in. It's going to be a fun show. And because of that, I have to run this.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Well, you know, hey.
Safe now.
Also, it helps that we're not monetized at all. So you cannot take away what we do not have already.
You never know when a sponsor may show up, though. Yeah. So you never know. Here's our opening. Here we are, Sunday Funnies, folks. Come on in. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I've been doing comics for quite a few decades. Started out doing Tales from the Universe, which is a funny animal comic. I would call it a funny animal comic. If you take Carl Barks and space opera and blend them together, that's what we hope for. So there it is. Hey, look, somebody's got a copy. Wow.
There we go.
Awesome.
Classic.
There we are.
Classic.
Speaking of funny animals.
There we are. There's a funny animal right there going by.
There she is.
Is Scott here?
No, Scott has a broken toe.
Oh, sorry, you said something about funny animals, and
there you are.
There you go.
What do you mean he's got a broken toe?
He's got a broken toe.
So we
can't sit down in a chair and be on a show.
He's going to the doctor at noon today.
Doctor's appointment. Okay.
We wish him well. Apparently, it's not the broken toe is not doing very well.
Oh, get better soon, Scott.
Yeah.
So get better soon, buddy. Here, I've got that cover right there.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic.
There we are. Thank you. Also joining us is C. Michael Lanning. C. We're just going to go around and quickly introduce ourselves, and then in the last 15 minutes, we'll talk about everything else. Here we go.
Real quick, I'm C. Michael Lanning, independent graphic translator. Done work for Arrow Comics on Calico of Shard. You can see it right there behind me. And also the current Doghouse Kickstarter from Hazard Productions. And a couple other things here and there.
Doghouse.
A little familiar with some furry, funny animals. So.
Just a few.
That's funky music on that thing, on that trailer.
Oh, no, it's really good. Music. It's really good, yeah.
We'll try to watch that at the end of the show. Also, Mike Jimmy's with us. Mike Jimmy, introduce yourself.
It's been too long, lovelies. Hey, everyone. I'm Mike Jimmy de Brand, creator of Love and Cora and CEO of Fairies and Ents. When it comes to funny animal comics, well, I've got Love and Cora for you. And yeah, I do stuff and I promote people and I publish people, and apparently it gets you a place in this show. So
you're always welcome on this show.
Well, that's a high bar.
Whenever you're not slaughtered with work.
That's a high bar, Mike. I just turn up because I'm free.
Got nothing else to do.
That's right. Russ doesn't cost a thing.
I'm cheap.
Also with us is Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Glenn Fleming. I'm an author of this, which you can get from me. I'm an artist and creator of this, which will be coming out somewhere soon, I believe.
I should be
And
enlarging everybody because
and
we're
I'm-
so small this morning.
And I'm the publisher of this 100-page magazine that comes out every couple of months, which
Sorry.
deals with comics.
Sorry, seeing Mike Jimmy. I should have blown you up there. So
That's all right.
That's
We're
cool.
good.
No worries. No worries.
And
I was awful today.
I'm also the
It's okay.
producer of this, which is the companion to this, which shows you me talking to Jack Kirby at his home many, many years ago.
there we
And
go.
you can get those from me. That's it.
Also with us today is Russ Leach. Russ,
Wait,
introduce yourself.
with furry gorilla butt on the screen.
Yeah, look,
Yes.
it's my furry gorilla butt. Look at this lovely
Okay.
fake fridge magnet there from Dave. Oh, I've got to put it back on again. I'm having technical trouble with my fridge magnets. Right. My name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. You can see me in the pages of Batman. You can see me in the pages of Doctor Who magazine. Also, my own book, Own Death Can Save Us. Second book out now. You can pick the first book up via New Haven or Viking Press Comics as soon as they change their name. And lots of other stuff. I work on all kinds of things comic book related. You can find out all about me at russleach.com. There's an email list to sign up to, and go see my Instagram because I put up art every day. There you go.
Okay. Also, it's semi-regular to the show is Mitch Rogers.
What's
Introduce
up,
yourself,
everybody?
Mitch.
I'm Mitch Rogers, creator of the Boger horror comic book series, which is currently in a Indiegogo campaign for the new ongoing series relaunch. So look that up. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. I've been doing indie comics for going on 15 years now.
And if you're keeping track at home, this is Mitch's 6th appearance over Scott Rosema.
Nah.
To everyone having a
So
bingo,
honored.
Right.
please
Anybody
call,
having bingo?
calls Randy after the show.
There you are.
Right.
That's betting is only for entertainment purposes only.
Right. Exactly.
We do Monopoly
Wagering.
money.
Not
so
Yeah.
not
It's all
sponsored
in
by
Monopoly money.
DraftKings.
Yeah,
We
not at all.
continue for the washing machine.
That's
Yeah.
the first I've heard of it.
So
And I know where
DraftKings-
you all live.
If you need a sponsor, let us know. Also with us today on a rare appearance in a long time, Daphne Lage.
Yeah,
Daphne,
very rare,
introduce
very
yourself.
rare. Hello, everybody.
Oh, you got a little in the background. How dare you?
My name is
Wow.
Daphne Lage. I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York, which explains a lot. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, just a little bit longer than Randy. And I am actually a little bit shorter than Randy. We're kind of
A little
like,
bit longer than I've been alive.
well, there you go, there you go.
Oh, shut up.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy soap opera drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which also is partially furry and on Kickstarter on pre-launch right now. I am also co-host with Nita Lanning on the Rage Into the Vlogs show every Monday and Friday here on the Indie Comics Network. And you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com and EagleWorks.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also simulcasts through this network. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Like to introduce first timers to the show, Mr. Jens Richard. Introduce yourself.
Hello. And well, I'm not sure why I'm here. You're like great people. I'm just a noob.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
You have to
Why
say
you're
something.
here.
Starting here.
Best place to be.
And thank you so much for having us. I have Nathan with us. He can talk about himself a little bit. And we here because we have a message for the world. And
Dun, dun, dun.
that also goes for big timer like you and small timer like me. And that's the fundament in what we are working with and why I believe that we have similar success in our life as big and as small. But we'll get back to that later. First and foremost, I'm grateful you have me here. And I see I have brought my friend Thomas in the chat too. Hello, Thomas. Great to have you here. And we will be talking about funny animals. I would like to talk about the influences of European comics, especially from my origin, the region, Denmark and Sweden. and we will be talking about our own new upcoming comic, Bunny, the dark brown rabbit. Yeah. Well, don't show that yet. Yeah, here we go. That's the homepage. Yeah, that's Bunny.
Bunny. Love it.
And we have a YouTube video, music made by Thomas in the chat. And we have everything we would like to show you. It's a big world. I have been written a very big world, but you probably will never know about the world. You would just know about the character living in the world. I'm taking the Star Wars. Yeah, the Star Wars approach. You can watch the first Star Wars movie like a casual review, but you can feel the lore behind it, but you're not forced to understand it as you are if you're reading or watching Lord of the Rings. So my Bunny universe is big, but you will probably never know it. And in time, if this is going off as a thing, well, I have material and we can continue.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's finish our introductions here. Last but not least, Mr. Nathan.
Hey, yeah, so I'm Nathan. I'm the artist for Jens on the BUNNEH project. I have a couple of my own comics as well. My main one that I'm kind of doing on the side a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to see. I don't have any printed out pictures, but I do web comics mainly. And it's called Dragon Sparking, and it's got basically a dragon man main character that goes around beating people up. And then I have another comic, also a web comic called The Last Reindeer, which is it's a black and white comic with it's just I took the concept of the evil snowmen from Calvin and Hobbes, and then just decided to throw a reindeer as the main character, he's the last of Santa's reindeer, and he's trying to save the North Pole from these evil snowmen. Lots of great shots of snowmen getting shot with rock salt and all sorts of stuff in it. It was pretty fun. So yeah, I don't have, like I said, I don't have any of those printed out, so I can't really show the pictures at the moment, but they are out there on Tapas.
Make sure you put a link in the chat, will you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Spam it. Spam.
Well, that looks
Spam
great.
it. Yeah.
Hold on, let me. If you share my screen, I can actually show you guys because this
I
looks
can share
great.
your screen. There we go. Oh,
This
wrong
one.
screen.
The other
That
one.
screen.
So yeah, this is Last Reindeer for people who want to know. Because I didn't know Nathan was doing art besides Bunny anyway. So
There we are.
Oh.
I like this.
This.
Love it.
Can never go wrong with reindeer assassins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The night the reindeer died.
Just can't. Yeah.
You gotta have your jingles.
Yep. In the story, I didn't put it in there because it's dialogueless, but his pouches are made out of Santa Claus's Christmas bag, so he can store endless weapons inside of them.
Awesome.
That's where the spare bag went.
It's Doom Reindeer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marvy in the house. Glad you're here.
Hey.
Ephraim's in the house.
Hello,
How
my
you
friend.
Hey.
Marvy.
Whoa,
says,
more people.
Zeus, Indie Comics Network. All good. Go to fucking town. That's what they say. Okay. We must be past that. We are past that 8-minute mark, so it's all good.
Right, yeah, we can actually use questionable vocabulary.
Kind of would like to keep my channel, Daphne.
Yeah.
My animals are creepy, not funny.
That is true.
Friend
Mark.
says, I got a kitty. She is a demon. There we go. Indie Comics Network says Russ is a cheap artist. Poor artist. Yeah.
So now you know.
$20.
Now you know, Russ.
Thomas says hand pink waving.
Oh, but probably the emoji.
That was-
the emoji.
that was the
didn't show
emoji,
up.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes the emojis show up. Sometimes they don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Says shut up, Mike, before we ID you.
I'm just barely legal, okay?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Talking about your age. Says Bunny. Bunny is greatness. Yes. Dragon Sparking. There's that link right there to Tapas.
Yes, thank you.
Dragon Sparking. Yep. Make sure you get that. Says, yeah, I said hard pink waving. LMAO. Yeah. All right, Thomas. Always happy to have you here. Happy everybody's here. We're here to talk funny animals. Who knew?
Funny animals. We do stuff with those.
Great stuff on Sunday Funnies. All sorts of funny
tell
animals.
people that, okay?
We're going to talk about funny animals. Yeah.
I don't know about
I
don't know about the Netherlands, but I do know that is illegal here. Okay.
How many know about this creature?
Marsupilami, of course I do.
Marsupilams. Yeah.
No?
I remember him.
Mike Jimmy knows.
Yeah, of course
I remember him.
There it is.
It was a Disney Afternoon cartoon.
Now it is. Yeah.
Is there really?
Yeah. It was.
that
Yeah.
character?
Yeah, Zabumafu.
This is a very new one.
No, Marsupilam.
Oh, I
Marsupilami.
got the name wrong.
What are you calling her?
Marsupilami.
Okay, here is Spirillen.
So much easier.
I have opinions as a Franco-Belgian creator, as an actual Franco-Belgian creator.
Look, I think my favorite, my favorite cartoon translation is that the Smurfs translates in Spanish to Los Pitufos.
my favorite one is the German one because Strumpf.
That just sounds like a sound effect to me. I'm sorry.
It is.
Small blue.
It sounds like a tank weapon going off, doesn't it?
Don Martin in rare form. Yeah.
Right.
Look at that.
Smurfana.
Oh no.
Smurfana. Let me blow that up here. There we are. Jens.
Smurfs in space.
Smurfin. Yeah.
As for Smurfen.
Fantastic.
Och de smurfar mycket.
Fantastic. And any of our audience here in the States who haven't read the European versions, they're completely different Smurfs over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they actually do things.
They're all drugged up.
they live in mushrooms for a good reason.
They didn't just live in mushrooms.
Yeah.
They experienced
It's like the
mushrooms.
difference between the cartoon Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles and the original Teenage Mutant Turtle comics when they first came out. They were a lot more adult oriented and more
Violent.
mature subject matter. Yeah, more violent, more fun. Anyway,
Shredder died in the first
Someone said-
appearance.
Oh, spoilers, Mitch.
oh no,
It's
Spoilers.
a known
Well
fact.
dies in the third episode.
it's only been
He
out
wasn't
for
crushed
40
under a pew
years.
either.
Only 40 years.
If you haven't spoiled it, 45, probably 40 years. Yeah, probably 40 years. If you haven't spoiled it by now, it's yeah.
Speaking of funny translation, in my entire life, I have been reading Asterix.
Oh, I think everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
since the dawn
And-
of time, I
and-
think that book is older than all of us.
No, I
And
just-
the character who is making the potion, the
That's
droid,
Yeah.
this dude.
Druid, yeah.
Yeah. I have always known him as Miraculix, doing miracles. But
That is
then,
actually the fourth name I know for him.
but then Nathan, I was talking about him to get some influences for BUNNEH and read some Asterix, and then I figured out, Nathan, what is his name in English?
I can't remember,
George.
but it was
Probably
Get a
George.
fix.
Yeah.
George.
I can't remember right now.
It's Asterix or Get a Fix.
Get a
Or-
fix.
Yeah, Get a Fix.
Oh, yeah, get a
Yeah.
fix. Okay.
Okay.
I was mind blown. I was like,
That was
what?
the third
What are
one.
you calling him?
Well, we were talking
yeah.
off the air about how funny animals everywhere else but the States have got there's a lot more exposure, and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck literally everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you rarely see the comics here unless you go into a comic shop to and intentionally look for them, and they're probably on the kids shelf way at the bottom,
Oh yeah.
probably close to the back anymore.
Oh,
But
We have a
Mickey still
magazine. Yeah.
Mickey still comes out. Boom does it. IDW's done it in the past.
Let's see.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
there's
Marvel doesn't do it.
One.
Marvel.
Well, this
Yeah.
one. This one. Oh, this is from Dark Horse. So these are the These are the Italian Disney comics that they brought over here. This one's Treasure Island. And I think like one of the artists, oh no, that was Frankenstein. One of the artists of these books also did Dylan Dog.
Oh yeah. Well, there's been a lot of people that have done Dylan Dog over the years. So
yeah, and it's like, and it's just like, so this is the Disney version of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing.
Oh, it's
and
lovely.
it's like, so even in Europe, the Disney characters have a different resonance than they do here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know? Oh,
Well, we've had longer to grow up.
If I had known, I would have picked up a Donald Duck weekly
Look,
magazine.
so here's, look at that. They did Dracula also and Hamlet because
Yeah.
we all need, you know, Donald Duck as Hamlet.
We do. I didn't know I needed it until now.
Right. Yes. Yes.
It needs to be animated and on Disney Plus is what it needs to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, Daphne,
Yes.
can you find a picture of the castle?
The castle. What do you
Where
mean?
Hamlet-
Which castle?
Hamlet's castle.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. So, let me
Because-
see. Oh, is it? Well, let's see. Is this the interior? I think that might be the interior.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I love the coloring on that.
Here it is.
There we are. Yeah.
No,
not
not
the
at
castle?
all.
What?
No,
What do you mean not at
Nope.
all? What am I looking for? What am I looking for?
you're looking for an accurate Danish castle.
Oh, you won't
Oh.
get that. Don't be silly.
Yeah, I know.
You
right?
might be looking for a long time in
Are
that
you one of
comic.
those?
For
Are
that.
you one of those guys that's like, oh, it has to be historically accurate?
No,
in a
just-
Donald
just-
Duck comic?
Just something like it.
Right. Well, I don't know.
It was written by some English hack,
Right.
and then
yeah.
and then
And then,
an
yeah,
American
and then-
company got hold of it. You don't expect it to look.
Yeah,
like what it's
exactly.
supposed
But to me, there's something frightening about a comic book or whatever it is that says Frankenstein starring Donald Duck.
Yeah. No, well, how about Dracula?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, same thing. That's a bit
Dracula, yeah.
disturbing to me.
Hold on,
Oh,
I'll be right
it's
back.
a little Dracula there.
This is the Dracula one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
yeah. So yeah. So
I
these
approve.
these are from Dark Horse. I'm pretty sure they're still available. I mean, Dark Horse is usually pretty good at keeping their stuff. Oh my God, it's Clarabelle Cow as Lucy.
to.
No.
Well, oh dear.
Oh my god.
She's getting right into it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But so
So
we've kind of been
read
warmed
those.
up
Those are
as far as
amazing.
like ducks and vampires with Duckula. So that was
Cowards.
I was going to say they
Cowards.
didn't even call it Duckula. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I want to fuck your blood.
What?
What,
Oh, wow.
wait, what?
What are we
This is
rating
Sunday
again?
morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you could always read Mickey's Don Quixote.
I used to have that one.
Right. Here
I
we go.
actually
I
had
found it.
that one.
I found it. I found
That
Hey,
makes
look,
sense.
You found the Dutch castle.
No, look.
Oddly, it looks like a windmill. Anyway,
Oh, there's the
yeah.
Dutch castle. There we go.
Okay.
hang on, Jens. There we are.
Right.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
That's the castle. It actually have a big story about the castle in the Donald Duck comic. Because
I'm
the dog
surprised.
is visiting Denmark in this issue.
Show the cover to that again, will you? When you get a chance. There we are. Andersen Company.
Anders and
Anders. Okay.
Anders and
Andersen.
And the thing about this, no, this is the wrong. No, this is the Swedish castle.
Okay.
No.
There's a difference.
They swap castles when it's printed in different countries.
Oh,
I
so
would not be
so I
surprised.
think in relation to dovetail into a previous episode that you did about stuff that didn't age well.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So here is Moby Dick, right?
Oh.
Here's Moby Dick, and here is Huey, Dewey, and Louie play. I guess they needed the three of them to play Queequeg the cannibal.
Oh, good lord!
Oh, amazing! Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Daphne,
Yes.
you look like you're sitting in an aircraft with that chair behind you.
Oh well, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, look, I have to switch out chairs, depending on how long I sit in them, because then it's like I don't exercise enough to sit in a chair properly anymore.
Okay, neither do I.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you need a timer.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
Crank it for an hour. That way you have to get up. Yeah, remind you to. We get so involved, all of a sudden 3-4 hours have gone by, and you're working on the same drawing,
and then you wonder why your hip hurts so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, so Funny Animals is a grand tradition. It's just that the United States does them a little differently than Europe, as always.
If they do them at all, most of the Funny Animals are independent anymore.
Right.
IDW printed some Donald Duck. Yeah, we'll get there.
I think the very early 90s Archie Sonic comics were pretty funny to a degree. They were before they went kind of weird in the mid 90s.
There we are.
They had they just had that like really cartoony style. I wouldn't say they're like hilarious, but I don't know, they had some pretty mildly amusing puns. I read a lot of those growing up.
Cool.
I think.
Yeah, they did have a strong following for quite a while.
And then there was Usagi Yojimbo.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily funny, but there's some comedy in there.
Yeah.
But it's more, I love this. And I recently just got into these.
And there are
comics.
multiple volumes of Stan Sakai's work, just huge omnibuses of it. He's been doing it for so long.
You say funny
on such a regular basis.
I think we need Randy. It's like, how about you give a definition of what exactly funny animals mean? Because it's like, just because we're saying funny animal doesn't mean we're talking about comedy necessarily.
No, not necessarily. We're talking about anthropomorphic characters, ducks, every animal that you can imagine that have human traits to them. We're not necessarily talking about furries either, because those are funny animals that have highly sexualized traits to them. Usually.
Well, yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but you see, but that, yes,
the
but
definitions
exactly.
get a little get fuzzy, over time. But really, it all started with Gutferson's Mickey Mouse telling adventure tales that in the newspaper strips that everybody took to, and all of those cartoons that were in the theaters, like Felix the Cat, and I'm just trying to think of some of the old ones. Oswald,
Right. I
Woody
mean,
Woodpecker popped in about that time.
Do you know who coined the phrase?
No.
Okay, so it's just one of those words.
But I do know the term funny book comes from the fact that funny animals were in comics. So they were funny books as well as funny animals. But I don't know who actually originated. Pardon?
The word comic itself is based on the word comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, so even like the genre itself is named for something that kind of doesn't relate to it.
At this
Like
point,
Andy
no,
Panda?
not anymore.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah?
I mean, originally, when you go far enough back, obviously we're not talking cave paintings yet, but if you
Crazy
go back
Cat.
into the 1800s or whatever, so many of them were political cartoons.
Yeah.
And the idea was to generate laughter. So the whole comic came out of that. But
the idea was to pick on the politician by turning them into an elephant or a goat or
right.
But comics as a medium has grown
donkey.
beyond the word comic. Really,
Yeah.
it's a storytelling medium. So.
It's really more sequential art.
Yes, difficult to nail down, really, now.
Yeah.
That's why they're so maligned, because they have comics in the titles.
Yeah.
You need to lose that somehow.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing,
unfortunately, it does add to the stigma.
Well, but I think that that's also the reason why Will Eisner, well, at least he claimed that he coined the term graphic novel.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of to separate his work from comic.
Yeah, as far as I was aware, the term graphic novel was created in essence for those people that turned their noses up at comics as some kind of a medium, to make it almost acceptable. You could have a graphic novel in the bestsellers chart. Do you know what I mean? Because it didn't say comic.
Right. Yeah.
They are all comics. There's no doubt about it. Everything that is sequential art is a comic, in my view. Manga, comics, doesn't matter what it is.
Right. Exactly.
Okay? This whole departure of saying, oh, comics are this and comics. No, it's all sequential art. It's just a different way of doing it. You have Americana comics, okay, and you have Japanese comics, and you have European comics.
Right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all sequential art. Okay. And so it's just really annoying that somewhere like Europe has a healthy respect for comics, okay, or the art, the sequential art medium, okay, but Britain doesn't.
Italy, but
Britain doesn't. Britain doesn't have that. It doesn't have that respect. Okay, it's seen by other nations as having, quite rightfully, I think, as having its own unique feel. Okay, and bringing an awful lot to the medium, but it doesn't respect itself, or it hasn't in the past. It's slowly changing. Okay, and America had a similar problem. All right, but Europe and Japan, different kettle of fish.
Right? Yeah. But also, we have to be careful too that we don't romanticize something that we're not really that familiar with. Because when Japan has a word for people dying at their desks because it happens so often, that's not a healthy.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
When we're talking about a webtoon artist doing the equivalent of 11 pages a week just to meet their contractual obligations, that's not an environment that's respectful of the medium.
The environment isn't. I'm talking about the audience.
Oh, okay? The audience.
The general populace.
The culture.
The audience. Just the general acceptance of sequential art as a real and acceptable version of storytelling. In the same way that film is. In the same way that photography is seen as art. All these things, it's part of that. Okay, as far as the environment, as far as the financial aspects and the way that the industry is driven, okay, all right, that comes down to the fact that artists are always seen as the lowest.
They're just cogs in a machine.
They're always cogs in a machine. They're never seen for the creativity that they give. They're just seen for the content that they produce. And that's a thing that we can't do anything about, unfortunately.
Can I share our message now, because it's quite in the topic?
Share what?
Well, I have a message, as I said in the beginning. A message. I have seen the light. No. Can you share my screen?
Can I take a few moments to talk about our Lord Jesus Christ?
No, not that one. That one. Because this is where everything started from my view. I'm no artist, but I can do this. I can do some stick figures.
Hey, no shame. One of the top-selling books on Kickstarter is literally stick figures.
There you go. True. So, and when I started on Tapas, where I meet Nathan also, I found out very quickly, this is a tough business. This is overload on overload, just as we talked about. And getting exposure is insane. So I was like, do I really want to run that show? Do I really want to be on front? Do I really want that? And what will it cost? Or do I just want to do my thing and be extremely happy about that success that I am actually achieving? So my first comic was Blue Life, was with this little blue guy, and he is selling his comic, and he has no hearts because nobody like it. Some people coming, passing by, He's trying to still sell his thing, but this dude, the awesome art comic, is stealing everything. And that makes him sad. But I got something to tell too. I got something. But one person sees it with big Google eyes. Oh, you like it? Yes, I like it very much. And this is honest. The person actually likes it. And here we go. Never give up. You don't have to be big to be successful.
Yeah. Also, what he's not saying too that the other booth is selling fan art porn.
Exactly.
Most likely, yeah.
Exactly. Like we all know that's a doujinshi.
Yeah,
About
exactly.
the most popular series right now.
We all know
Yourself.
boobs still.
Yeah,
gigantic
so
conquers.
you know.
Yeah, every convention I go to, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a comic artist, and I'm like, what books do you do? Oh, I just do fan art.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, well, you're not a comic artist, then, are you?
Well, you know what? Look, it's just like the people who's like, oh, I love comics. Oh, which ones do you like? I saw all the movies.
Yeah.
All the movies.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah, who was it? It's either Raymond Chandler or Stephen King. One of those. This saying is always attributed to either one of those. But someone asked him, what do you think about what Hollywood has done to your movies? And he said, or what do you think what do you think about what Hollywood has done to your books? And he goes, Hollywood hasn't done anything to my books. They're on the shelf like they've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That it's like, you know what, like in the end, it's like, look, nothing disappears, it's like the books are still there. The original versions of whatever it is that you love is still there. Whatever nonsense these production companies are doing now to kind of like update stuff, your favorite thing to a new audience has nothing to do with you. The stuff that you love is still there.
Yeah.
Or the way I like to say it, your childhood is fine and intact. So your childhood is not dead. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Calm
speak
down.
to yourself. Speak to yourself.
Yeah.
I lived my childhood. That was pretty fucking dead.
Whoa, that got dark quick.
real quick. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see Thomas is telling he loved the passion we all carry. And I think that's what's reflecting our job. No matter how skilled you are, if you have the passion, then you also have the self-knowledge to know if I'm doing good or I'm just role-playing around with my character or am I actually telling a story.
Yeah.
I think most of those webcomic special, they're not self-critic enough, in my opinion.
No.
They're just, as I said, it feels like you're just role-playing around with some funny characters. You need to educate yourself to actually understand how a good story is used, the tools about it, and that's why I found Nathan very, very special, and wanted him on the project because he also have a lot of other stuff, but there is always a storytelling perspective in his art.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to push him to do more Don Rosa, but no one can beat the master. But all those,
except Disney itself,
except Carl Barks, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about beating.
Oh yeah, with a stick.
Yeah.
But I see some influences in his art. There, especially one of the not so popular, but one of those. Do you remember you have this? Was it a fly? Was it a bee bus working on an office?
Oh yeah, office drone. I took that one down just because I don't know. I tried to do some things with it that I was like, well, it doesn't really work. But yeah, I had a one where I was going to do an office comedy with a bee. His name was Buzz. It was called Office Drone, and basically it was just going to be the world punching down on this guy as he just tries to go to work. I wasn't able to make it work because I had too many projects going at the time. So, yeah, I don't have much of those left, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was the main thing. You're doing something and you see it's not going the direction that you like, that your viewers like, and then you put it down or change it, as you are doing with the Dragon Sparking now. You are rebooting everything.
Yep.
As somebody out there said, there's no mistakes, there's only lessons.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to figure out exactly how much work you can put into something. And that's a balance I've had to learn how to deal with my family and just work and all that stuff. So, yeah.
For me, one of my major influences was Carl Barks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's the Duck Stories, just classic. They've been out in every format that you can imagine. That's about the most widely read, I would say, funny animal comic out there. Is that
Randy, are there any Carl Barks pencil to look at?
Not that I've ever seen. I think
there's some paintings I can show you.
Yeah, there's some awesome paintings. But the Russ Cochran EC volumes, he also did a set of volumes off of the photostats of Carl Barks' work in black and white. I've got a couple of those that we can go through on like a Sunday Funnies sometime. Say what?
Got some naughty postcards.
No.
Come up and see some etchings.
Want to see some pictures? Dirty pictures.
Here's a couple I have on here that have Carl Barks' sketches or preliminaries.
Oh yeah, let's see those.
Run them up.
Those. Yeah.
Hold on. Share it. Give me a second.
Yeah, I think there's a few out there, but not a whole lot. He did everything himself on those stories.
Yeah.
Was that book you were talking about last week? Was it that Toth book, Randy? The one that he with all his sketches
in design? Yeah.
Yeah,
those are finished character sheets, though.
Right.
There you go. Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
That was probably for a painting that he was working on, or a commission sketch he did for someone.
Quack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
Wow.
It's really good to see that. I never
have to
seen
be
anything.
careful here.
Look at that.
That
There's some naughty barks in there. Or,
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there was
a
Howard the Duck back there.
Oh, Carl Barks, Howard the Duck, or it's just because
that looks like Howard the Duck down the bottom. Is that? Or is that?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that.
Oh, there's plenty of rabbit holes.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not. I can't see what's ahead.
Yeah. We don't want to get kicked off the air.
all sorts of funny animals out there. And, we just don't see a whole lot of them here in the States, or a lot of them around anymore. Remember the old Fox and Crow from DC? Those were out for a while. He did pretty good with those.
Never seen that.
Now look at that. That picture just tells 1,000 words right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't see that today, at least not the cigar and the crow there.
Right, yeah. It's like, smoking's bad.
Oh, dear.
You know what the funny thing is? In Europe, they just wouldn't be lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Hound.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic.
That is the cover from a weekly. I think it's English.
Mind you, Huckleberry Hound was the first cartoon to ever win an Emmy.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah. It was a Huckleberry Hound short.
There you go.
That won the first Emmy.
What's Looney Tunes?
Oh, wow.
You gotta love those pen, like brush strokes. That is incredible inking work.
Yeah. Obviously done by Leon Schlesinger.
That's a very young Bugs.
You don't see artwork signed very often, but that one was. Yeah. and a well-loved comic at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's
Sometimes
true.
those are
Now
the
it's
best.
like, you have to search to find out like who drew
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Although it's like
Oh, excuse me.
yeah, like that new
New
yeah,
vintage
style.
the new style. Yeah, it's like when I first saw that, it's like those new shorts. I'm like going, what the f, right? And then I looked it up, and then like the people who work on these new Disney cartoons, they all worked for Cartoon Network. It's like people who worked on Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls. Like, oh, that explains.
Yeah, I was about to say it does have a like early 2000s Cartoon Network
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
to it.
Not just that, but it secures the copyright on the pie.
Well, that's true.
Mickey with the
Yeah.
buttons on the front of his pants.
That's true.
Yeah, because I think the one with the eyes is getting to that point too.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
the
Yeah.
steamboat,
Just after
yeah.
Snow White.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's getting very close to that. Of course, there's Mighty Mouse.
Right. Yeah, that's my fave.
Classic.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
Uh-huh.
A lot of great superhero characters, like some of them very lost to time, like Atomic Rabbit
What? That one.
by Al Fagos. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at what point did pretty much these fall out of favor enough that it did transition to that these characters did transition to underground and then transition to furry and then transition to fandom and then like kind of making it full circle again?
It was the Silver Age really that pushed them out in the age of superheroes coming into predominance. It's not that they were less popular, it's just that superheroes were selling more. And the distributor at the time was only allowing these publishers so many spaces on the rack. So they did what sold the most, and that turned out to be superheroes. So pretty soon, everything gets narrowed down, at least here in the States, gets narrowed down to just superheroes coming up. Even DC stopped their romance and war books in the 70s and 80s because superheroes were selling so well.
Yeah, in Europe, we just had so many different kinds of things that everything was available.
Yeah.
And it still is.
Yeah.
We don't focus. We just look at what sells as a whole.
Right. And way back when, everything used to sell. That's why you had all these characters. Hoppy the Marvel Bunny was out, funny animal version of Captain Marvel, the old Shazam Captain Marvel. Merry-Go-Round of Fun featuring Hoppy the Marvel Bunny.
It's like, is that something for a future movie?
Did somebody get paid to make that name?
Hoppy, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It was a simpler.
Here's $5. Good luck with fun.
A simpler time.
It was an easy paycheck that day.
Yeah.
Well, we were looking at the Monster Society of Evil a couple of weeks ago. That was a long-running Captain Marvel serial where the main villain turned out to be a worm.
Well, of course.
An alien worm with large glasses and a radio around his neck so he could.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It was
those are the best, man.
It was
Those
definitely
are the best.
protoplankton.
Yeah.
Basically, he was.
Yeah. He really
Well,
was.
at the end of the story, he was fried. Literally,
Right.
they electrocuted him at the end.
Frying tonight.
Yeah. He showed
made a
up in
tiny
the
little
after
chair.
credit sequence of Shazam.
All right.
They showed Captain Marvel, not Billy Bats, and Captain Marvel reading a newspaper, and they make mention in the caption box that the lights dimmed at 7 p.m. The lights dim and then come back on. Captain Marvel goes, "Well, that's the end of Mr. Mind." And then right underneath that, they ran an ad for the Captain Marvel fan club.
That's funny. I mean, it's like, I kind of miss those moments where it's like you go, "Yep, we're reading a comic." A little worm with glasses being, an evil villain,
An evil mastermind.
Yeah, it's like, "Yep, we're reading a comic."
Here's another odd one.
mastermind. I get where his name comes from.
Before Rocketeer, there was Jet Pup.
Huh?
Oh.
So what's
Wow,
that?
it's like this one I've never seen.
He actually had a 3D comic for one issue, I believe. I think there were 2 other issues of Jet Pup that actually were made.
Huh?
Jet Pup.
Yeah, it's a puppy with a rocket pack. How can you go wrong?
Of course,
The
absolutely.
jet pack. Man.
Right.
Just think maybe a catchier name would have really, skyrocketed that.
Yeah, you have a problem with Jet Pup?
Jet
Yeah,
Pup.
I don't know. Sometimes
Jet Pup.
it's
In
like,
3D.
Real problems, see?
never underestimate the power of just obvious simplicity. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to remember too. It's like these were being literally marketed to children, so it's like, you're not going to, name your comic something complicated like they like to do nowadays.
Well,
At least
not
in
even
manga.
complicated, but just Jet Pup doesn't it doesn't float. You can still go.
It's not as catchy as say Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew.
There you go. There you go.
Was that Scott Shaw? Yeah, Scott.
Yes,
Shaw,
it is. Yeah, it's Scott Shaw.
Uh-huh.
With Fastback, the turtle that runs quick, and Alley Cat Dabra, the magical cat, Pig Iron, the strong pig, and Rubber Duck, who's the Plastic Man, stretchable duck character, and Yankee Poodle, who has magnetic power.
I'm surprised that this hasn't. That like no one's done anything with it. Like you would think that this would have been like so obvious for television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A rubber duck as a bendable character. That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give James
all of the villains were just really, really awesome puns.
Uh-huh.
The Armadillo.
Hey. Yeah.
It actually had a salamandroid too.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
robot salamander.
Yeah. Well, that is a good word though.
Yeah.
I mean, it just that flows together.
Yes.
Agree. The character in front is they say it's Minnie Mouse. It's not really Minnie Mouse. That's the big
Little
red
cheese.
Little cheese. Little red cheese. Yeah.
Little cheese.
I'm sure they had to be really careful with that.
Then they had another patriotic character join after that, American Eagle, that was part of the zoo crew as well.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Lots of fun. And then, of course, the big funny animal superhero over here was let me find it here, right there.
Oh,
Spider Ham.
Yes.
Spider Ham.
Oh boy.
With Captain America and Goose Rider.
Yes. Spider Ham. Spider bit by a radioactive.
Let's see. So here we go. This is the boy.
Peter Porker,
Right.
the spectacular Spider Ham.
Oh,
Marvel Tales spelt Taill.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Well, I mean, he even showed up in the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
it's very memorable.
Yeah.
Very memorable.
And also a greatly missed opportunity in my mind that for Marvel to have done a great line of funny animal superhero.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what's my so I have my super team. I have Better Ray Bill, Rocket Raccoon, Spider Ham, and Howard the Duck.
There you go.
Come on, put
totally
them in a group led by a bedraggled Doctor Strange.
No,
and we're
keep them. Keep them.
Money.
No.
Keep them where they are, and it's the Fantastic Four.
No, they almost got close to doing a ragtag group of like C-level characters. They were supposed to have done it, called the All Winners Squad. That's what they were going to call it.
Oh no!
Back a couple of years ago,
but they lost.
They decided not to do it at the last minute. Yeah, they lost.
Come on! It's like I think that's such yeah. Come on, that's money right there. Come on, just bring all the characters together.
I got Rocket here.
Yeah.
Where is he? Right there. Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually didn't he start off as like a funny animal buck, and then we just incorporated into the greater Marvel universe.
He started out as a Beatles song parody.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a 4-issue miniseries by Mike Mignola.
Mm-hmm. But Rocket Raccoon actually, I think his first appearance was in Hulk.
Yeah, he was in a Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was Steve.
That's
Steve
true.
Gerber.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that was Bill Mantlo.
Bill Mantlo. Yeah.
Though it is that the feel of the character is very Steve Gerber. He's very Gerber was very bizarre at times.
Gerber was Howard the Duck, right?
Yes, Gerber was Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
But the main tome in the Rocket Raccoon miniseries, if I remember right, was a copy of Gideon's Bible.
Yes.
Yeah. To tie into the Beatles.
Yeah. It's like I was so thrilled. I only learned that later on you know, but it's like I was just so thrilled to like see. It's like, oh, it's my favorite band, my favorite comic, all mashed into one. I'm good.
I got to draw Rocket twice.
No, and a very
sweet.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
very
one-
nice
one
versions
you-
of them too.
One you've got there
Uh-huh.
on the thing. So I did that one for Draw the Marvel way, but I did another one. I got to draw Groot and
Very nice,
Rocket.
very nice.
Awesome.
For a
Look at that.
statue. So actually, like, did the turnarounds for Groot and Rocket, so that they could make a 3-dimensional statue of it.
Did they end up making it?
Oh, wait
Yeah,
a minute!
yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
hot toy? The because that's exactly what it looks like.
Oh no, it was slightly different to that. No, it was for
okay.
it was for a collection of magazines. So
okay.
you got the Rocket collection, and then you got
Uh-huh.
Groot and Rocket with it.
Right.
Speaking of raccoon, do you by any chance know the comic Sandra and Woo?
Oh no.
No.
No,
Vaguely.
it's a webcomic. It's a German, and it's pretty much influenced by Calvin and Hobbes.
Right.
It over here we call it Calvin and Hobbes .21.
Okay.
Could be worse things to call it, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not a copy of Calvin and Hobbes at all. It got its own thing going, but it's about a talking raccoon as a pet for a girl called Sandra, and they're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Is that it there?
I have it here.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, right.
Sandra
Yeah,
and
there we go. Yeah, there we go.
That's got a look to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost
It's
a manga-ish look to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They even got a video game.
Huh.
Cool.
But
That
I mean, but
that
that's-
might be a fan version of that too, by the way. So
Right. I mean, I guess that just goes to show you that it's like we think that something's out of favor, but if you actually look a little bit like outside of our usual circles, like mainstream comics or whatnot, it's actually pretty alive and well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Cliff Richard
Yeah.
or Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
Like the fact that who was that guy who sang Green Door, Glenn, from the 80s?
Oh, Shakin' Stevens.
Shakin' Stevens was the biggest selling artist in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he was not cool.
No.
Yeah.
But
Right.
He
All the
thought he
grandmas
was.
bought it.
Well, somebody,
you know what
somebody was buying
I mean?
the albums.
Yeah.
Hey, the majority isn't always correct.
Right.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Because
Well,
I think
you could take that back to 1980 when I think it was 1980 around that time when Stevie Wonder had "Lately," which is a fantastic ballad, and it was kept off #1 by "Shut Up Your Face."
Oh, was it
So-
was it that, or was it no? Didn't they? Oh, didn't they keep off Ultra? Well, Vienna.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was
Vienna,
something.
it was on its way.
DISCO and all this kind of.
It was on
stuff.
its Vienna was on its way up to the top. It was the
Yeah.
big thing.
Well,
It's
you
like,
always want to make sure you
what's
spell
the
your
matter,
swear
you?
words.
Hey.
Yeah.
right. Well, yes.
DISCO.
Oh, dear. That's a great
Hold
song.
on, someone is knocking on my door outside.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
That sounds
Don't
like
forget to
Lantern.
mute yourself.
We'll have to stall until
yeah.
you get back. Yeah. No, anyway,
Blanchard.
There's-
What we talk about?
from the 80s or 90s.
Oh
Boris
my
the Bear.
God. This is when
Oh,
I start
boy.
passing out regularly.
Boris the Bear.
Oh my
Get
God.
him out. He's
Yeah.
Parody
holding
parody
old-fashioned-
comic. Yeah.
It's a Dark
He's
Horse.
muscled up though.
Well, I mean, because this came
He's
out
a buff
like,
bear.
what is it? It's like kind of
It's-
like the parody of Conan and you know, like Cerebus and
He's a gatekeeper.
yeah, literally.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm back. Sorry, real life happens.
You do.
Just talking about Boris the Bear, which of course led to the ultimate evil.
Uh-oh. Well,
Oh.
there was I
Oh,
remember back in fandom days, there was an artist named Carno. Well, I knew him as Carno because I don't dare try to pronounce his entire name because he was from Iceland.
Okay.
And he had a comic called Savage Squirrel. And he did an entire storyline explaining where Care Bears came from, and it was such an insane story, because it's like he was talking about how the Care Bears, they were like a group of brothers that I guess they grew up together, they were in show business together, and as they got older, because of their popularity, they were all chemically castrated to keep their cuteness. And then one of them hires Savage Squirrel to, I guess, like assassinate the studio executive that forced that indignity on them, on his brothers, because they all ended up with like addictions and alcoholism and whatnot, and he was the last of the brothers alive. So as you can tell, this is kind of underground / furry fandom comic.
That is obviously one I have to dig up from.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
Fabulous.
That is awesome.
So
that's obviously one I don't have to dig up.
And
it's right there in this collection, right there.
And the one part that I really
I need that for my collection.
It's like the one part that I really remember is so Savage Squirrel and the Care Bear, they get on a bus, and it's supposed to be something like 17 hours or something, and Savage Squirrel has this big duffel bag, and the Care Bear is like all upset, going, it's like, why are we taking the bus? If we take an airplane, it's like we'll be there in a couple of hours instead of like 3 days. And Savage Squirrel goes, well, this was at the time, mind you, this was very pre 9/11. It's like, the buses don't check luggage, and his duffel bag was all full of guns.
Of course.
Because that's what a squirrel would carry.
Right, exactly. Especially when you go by Savage Squirrels.
Exactly.
So I can't look at Care Bears without thinking of that story.
Hey, Vess, I'm looking for a co-host.
Oh yeah, they're having her and Nita is that they're having a conversation in the chat, right?
Zerko, hey guys, hey for Zerko, glad you're here. Hi, Nita. What show? Right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you see, they're having, So, because that's the kind of the thing that in the end where it's like, so in the 80s, there was just like kind of like a furry boom in mainstream, where you had like, I think Fantagraphics was printing Critters. You had Usagi coming out. I don't know if, I don't remember who was publishing him at the time. I know that
I think he was self-published.
But it's like, so he
for a short period.
And then he went on Mirage with Eastman and Laird.
Yeah.
And then Dark Horse ended up picking him up. So
and now he's on IDW.
So he had his debut in a comic called Albedo Anthropomorphics, which was self-published by Steve Galacci, who did Albedo, which was also a fandom born comic, just like Savage Squirrel. So it's like that's where I came across all these kind of like as close to mainstream furry comics as you can get, because I found them in a comic book store. I found them at Forbidden Planet, and it was just like entering like like a renaissance for me, for the type of books. It's like because it was like a jump from when I first saw Rocket Raccoon in a supermarket, and then going to this dedicated place and then seeing all these furry comics on the rack. And I'm like,
Yep.
Well, there was a time there before Image sprung up that comics were getting to a point of being incredibly diverse. Love and Rockets was out.
Mm-hmm.
There was all sorts of a whole group of black and white books that have long since fallen by the wayside, or the big anthology, anthropomorphic anthologies for me were Critters and Furlough.
Furlough, that was originally done by Antarctic Press, later taken on by Radio Comics, Ellen Winkler. But the thing is, though, it's like, so like this independent boom, right? So I'm sitting there in Forbidden Planet, and to kind of like connect everything to furry, to funny animals, right? So that's where I discovered a little comic. Randy should recognize this.
That's not Funny Animal at all.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all. But it had a baby.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So it's because of this book that this book exists. You know, also, you know, combined with Rocket Raccoon and ElfQuest, but
I was gonna say, it looks
you
kind
know,
of familiar.
it looked kind of
That's
familiar.
a hell of a party.
You know, exactly. So that's how we ended up
missed it.
with. Yep.
There we
There
Yeah.
we go.
There we go. There we
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
so
there a
all
reason to
roads.
flip
So it
the
just
image
goes to
there?
show you that all roads lead to furry. So even
The reason that
right.
the reason the image is flipped is
Uh-huh.
because this one is the Dutch version, and we do things the other way around over here. So we
Oh,
might as well
okay.
flip the whole thing. No, we actually don't. This is what I got.
Well, I mean, it's like it's two different artwork. It's two different
Yes,
pieces.
it's different pieces, but essentially the same.
Yes,
Though.
it does, you know. But because hey, if it works, right? If the layout works, keep using
exactly.
it, you know.
Yeah, you broke.
You know, right, exactly. Oh yeah, because there was also one more book that, you know, that kind of led to that road, right?
Ah.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
that goofy thing. Yeah. Tales from the
Yeah.
Universe.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like I have
I get
this.
that.
This here was the first issue that I picked up. You know, yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, and
I had a heck of a time convincing Sue to let me do that cover.
but this
the way.
one, I mean,
Yeah.
this is iconic.
I know.
This was the cover that made me pick this up. It was the first time I saw it, and it's like, I need this.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have totally picked that up as a kid.
Well, we had just come off of number 2, and
Right.
we were always what's the polite way of saying it, discussing things
Yeah.
as we were going along. Issue 2 was really my version of an Alex Schomburg cover
Right.
that has hang on just a second, let me knock this off.
This is issue 2 right here.
And yep.
Yeah.
That's got another team of anthropomorphic characters called Varsel's Vixens. That's
very interesting. I've never seen something like this.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of once you start getting into like independent comics and stuff. Once you follow the path off of mainstream, the stuff that you start finding.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It's amazing in the alternative market what's out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. We need to make
that sprung off of this book, because this Uncle Scrooge story had a book story in it where they all go to the other side of the moon, where there's a 24-karat moon. So it was all of the ducks flying in a rocket ship that I read when I was a kid. And I had taken I was working at a pinball arcade at the time, and the owner was pretty I don't know, I guess narcissistic would be the word. Wanted me to do a comic strip about him doing, you know, space opera type stuff, and called his name was JB, so it was JB Space. So I did a few little comic strips that we hung up in the arcade, and he was really a bumbling idiot, but he always saw himself as a big hero type character. And so we started with JB Space, and I got with Susan Van Camp, and we ended up creating an entire universe of characters that all coexisted, of different funny animals in serious like space opera situations.
Nice.
So there were pirates and bounty hunters, and a space station with people that ran the space station. There was a set of rangers that went around. There were fringe planets that had, every planet started out with an individual species until they found out that they could crossbreed, and then there were all sorts of combinations that came in afterwards. And once they discovered each other, everything kind of went crazy, and it was hard to keep governmental control. So the different governments ended up coming together in an entire Aniverse, which is, Stu Kerr came up with the name Animal Universe mashed together into Aniverse.
Yeah, it's a good word. It's a good word.
Yeah.
I really like it.
So
That's why we used it for the book, because we wanted to tell all these different stories with all these different characters. So then we ended up, once I left Arrow, we did a book called Aniverse for a little while. That's the cover for number 2.
That Gore's my
Weeby
boy.
Comics. And Gora's a crazy assassin zebracorn. He's a zebracorn.
Oh, nice.
Who's got a great backstory to him. And the other little character there is Pigeon. He's an assassin.
Right.
He's about 3.5 feet tall.
Right. With what is it that Mark Silvestri might have?
Valentino.
Valentino.
We had that discussion because he's kind of got a Shadowhawk look to his face.
But he came first, and then I remember seeing
he came very
Shadowhawk. And it's like, hey, this kind of looks familiar.
Valentino was all about
from a lot of people.
So yeah,
I got that from a lot of folks. Yep. But yeah, in the meantime, Funny Animals go in all sorts of different directions.
Yeah, definitely.
Our Crumbs Fritz the cat.
What?
Who hated the Bakshi movie so much he killed off the character.
Yeah.
But what's really funny though is seeing an interview where Bakshi kind of claps back at the Robert Crumb. He's like, "Fuck that guy. He took the check."
You know what? Fair enough.
And honestly, the movie was really close to the comic, from what I saw, in my opinion.
He came to terms with it later on. He's all right with it now. But,
well, it wasn't like he, took somebody's work and turned it into wizards or anything like that.
True.
But he's since gone back and apologized to Mark Baudet for doing that. Hang on. Yeah, there we are.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Cobalt
there
60.
we go.
I should have pulled up a Von Baudet example, but I didn't. Go ahead, Jens.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm starstruck. As I'm like, wow, what a world! What? I have never seen anything like this. It's just like, yeah.
Well, when the comic here in the States, when the Comic Code Authority kicked in, a lot of these books went underground. There was an underground movement, is what they called it. That's where Fritz the Cat came from. Robert Crumb did a whole bunch of comics where he was literally testing the waters. Can I get away with this? Can I get away with that? Now that there wasn't any code, there was going to be a direct backlash to all of the code restrictions. So you saw a lot of that in the 60s and 70s, and that started selling little black and white comics in independent shops or head shops, the shops that used to sell drug paraphernalia. That over a period of time evolved into the direct market, where they were selling comics directly from the publisher straight to the retail shops. When Diamond came out, and there were a good 2 dozen distributors or so that were selling comics. And when that sprung up, everybody started doing all sorts of crazy books. In fact, there's a lot of books that have fallen away over time. I should have an example here of one of my favorites. I thought, let me find it here. TH. Nope, I don't. It didn't pull through. One of my favorite books was Ismet, the Dog Avenger, which was a dog character on a world of funny animal, kind of a funny animal universe like Animverse. Came out about the same time, and that humans were starting to overrun their worlds. And after he loses his significant other, he was originally a troubadour. He loses his significant other and decides that all humans must die. So he ends up becoming Ismet, the Dog Avenger, and going through and trying to kill as many humans as he could possibly kill.
Yeah,
makes
fair
sense.
enough.
Wow,
it's a love story.
Right, yeah. Or
it spans 5 volumes.
Right, or if you wanted something a little bit different, also it's like it was around this time that the fanzine Voodie came out, or at least started.
Voodie. Yeah.
And that marked, I guess, the start of Reed Waller's career on Omaha the Cat Dancer. One of the most iconic, funny animal comics of the 80s and 90s.
I don't know if it's because the definition of the term funny animal is liquid. Exactly. It would be a funny animal book, but it was really more of a soap opera comic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, is that
or a slice
Reed
of life
Waller
book
actually
with cats.
did an entire strip in Voodie using the term funny animal and kind of goofing on the term with Omaha. But Yeah, there's a thing with a pen that she does, but yeah, that's
My God.
that's how she.
Oh boy.
Probably best reserved for the Indie
Yeah.
Comics Network by After Dark.
All right,
There we
yeah,
go.
exactly. Yeah,
There's
but,
Tales from the Aniverse 1.
yeah,
Pulled that through.
yeah.
Turtles. Oh, that's newer Turtles.
Oh,
That's
very
the
good
movie
turtle.
poster.
Yeah,
Can
there.
say.
Look, it's like, there it's there. I guess that should tell you how, in the end, timeless Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh, they will be. They'll be iconic
As
for
their
forever. Yeah.
iteration.
I
of-
actually like a
their-
lot of the iterations.
Yeah.
I like most of them actually, except for the Michael Bay movies.
Well,
Oh, yeah. No one likes the Michael Bay movie.
I
You
do.
go to a Michael Bay movie to see a Michael Bay movie. You don't care about what the movie is about.
Michael
Transformers
Bay,
is
the John,
okay,
the
but
John Denver of
TMNT is too
movies.
far.
Yeah.
everybody
Michael Bay,
has the album, but nobody listens to it.
the Barry Manilow
Yeah.
of movies. Yeah.
Oh, but has anyone ever heard of Gone?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Gone the
yeah.
Dinosaur?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Masashi Tanaka.
Didn't he turn up in Tekken?
Hang on.
4 or
Tekken
something?
3.
Yeah, back in the
Tekken
90s.
3.
Yeah.
Throw that up there again.
this
Show
guy-
folks who haven't seen it.
This guy in the
That's
90s,
beautiful work.
like
Look at that.
94 is when they first started coming out. His
Yeah.
artwork is divine, just
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Lovely.
And I love it. This is one of my biggest influences on my comic Dragon Sparking, because my
Yeah.
character, I heavily influenced by this character a lot, just because of how much of a badass he is, and he just
Show the
goes
cover
through-
again, Nathan. Show the cover
Yeah,
again. I didn't
Gone.
have you enlarged.
These
Yeah,
are the
Gone.
these are the 90s ones that were from Paradox Press. They were flipped, so they're not in the traditional format. I've never actually like had a chance to see the real original right to left format, but even in these, they still look amazing. I mean, just like the nature shots that he has of like this little
Yeah,
dinosaur
hold it up
tormenting
just
a lion.
a little higher.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there. Right there. Yeah, you're good.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this
it's
is black and
amazing.
white. This is black and white. Imagine if that was color.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, it
it's
might ruin
crazy.
it.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
it might ruin it,
crazy.
actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
A lot of times with the line work like that, just unless you've got a good colorist on it, it'll just muddy it up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
I
That or you
believe
just use plain flat colors,
Yeah.
and you hope for the best.
Just
yeah,
amazing
I
stuff. And
believe there was a 3D animated TV show of it. I
Really?
never really watched it.
Oh,
Came out in like 2012.
huh.
But I don't know. I don't think you can beat that. Just his art on its
No.
own.
No, just beautiful, beautiful line work like that. And we've covered a lot of that stuff over, or not his stuff specifically, but a lot of fine stuff over on Comics by Night that we run early Friday morning. We were looking, and we'll be looking at a bunch of great artists that have that just they know they're in black and white, so they use the medium to their utmost
Yeah.
ability, and
Yeah.
just do beautiful line work on it. Just super enjoyable and great styles.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. There's a new Funnies here with Woody Woodpecker, Andy Panda, Oswald Rabbit. I'm just going through trying to find the stuff that I've pulled up here. Andy Panda again. Of course, in the underground movement, you have the Air Pirates. We
Oh,
open every
yeah.
show with that.
mhm.
Yeah.
The notorious comic that got all the creators in trouble for
Well,
putting
I mean,
Mickey in 2 adult situations.
well, but the thing is, though, as we were talking with Russ before, their pain was self-inflicted because
Yeah,
it
it's true.
turns out that the dude actually sent his comics to Disney headquarters.
Oh my God.
He wanted them
Yeah.
to see it.
He poked the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't poke the bear, folks.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
You're asking for it.
Yeah.
Do not poke the mouse either.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't poke
that's
them
for
out.
sure.
Well,
Don't poke-
there's a stronger expression that are used in the circles. Don't F with the mouse.
Yes, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no,
Because they will F you
miles
back.
away.
They will F you back.
Not
Yeah.
at all.
Of course,
Oh,
Animaniacs.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll F you back and kill your family.
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yep.
The most accurate portrayal of Disney ever is South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legit,
Roger
though.
Rabbit comics, short-lived from Marvel, I believe. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know he got a comic too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wasn't that good?
Well, for a little while, they were doing like comic adaptations of like movies and stuff for a while.
They were trying to stretch out a bit in the late
Yeah.
80s. They did they did Star Comics.
Yeah.
They had the Heathcliff for a while, and they did Top Dog for the short run. A short run. There's issue 9. I think it ran 12.
Are those two characters at the bottom dancing, or are they running away?
No, they're running
away.
Yeah.
They're
They were
running.
running from the mummy.
Mummy.
I know.
Mummy told me there'd be days like this.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Probably where I got my sense of humor. Yeah.
Do the real.
There's a Tall Tales right there.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Hey.
Right, which also appeared in Furlough as well, or as somebody put it, reading Tall Tales in Furlough was like watching Lord of the Rings 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah. short spots.
Yeah.
They only
What a
gave
waste
me
of
a
time
few
that was.
issues, and they only
Right.
let me do a few stories in Furlough, just a couple, and then it stopped sending them. When they ran their 25th issue, and they wouldn't, I had a 2-part story, and they ran 1 part in 24 and 1 part in 26 because they decided I wasn't good enough for their 25th issue.
Oh, brother.
That was it for me.
Right.
I was done.
I mean, the least they could have done was print the two episodes so that it would make sense as a
Just
whole.
put me in 26 and 27. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
if they didn't think I was good enough. Anyway,
Oh no.
grumble.
Well, we're not bitter or
Son of
anything.
We're not bitter at all. No.
Speak for yourself.
We're deceiving.
One of the reasons I did Spank the Monkey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we are. And I got to talk about the market. So I love that.
I mean, it's like what's really funny is that, you know, like for the longest time, you know, like JD Jose, he would see this he would see this comic, like he had it in his collection, but he never like really, he just, because he was a compulsive buyer, so he would buy everything, and he had this in his collection, and he finally read it, and he goes, you know, this is probably the best book on the history of comic books I have ever read.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I had to do it because Arrow Comics at the time, we were so frustrated with our distributor that I said, that's it. I'm just going to do a comic where I tell everybody off. And so I had a character named Spank, and I wasn't going to do a Spank the Monkey book, but I said, I'll do one Spank the Monkey book, which was this one, and I'll tell everybody off inside of it. It'll be great.
Right.
So I'll get everything off my chest about the market. Well, I sent this cover into Diamond. Diamond ended up sending the cover into Wizard magazine, which was the big magazine at the time talking about the comic industry. And then Wizard gives it a special little box in their news section or whatever, and calls me on the edge and says, anybody that puts 2 monkeys in a woman's cleavage has to be a genius. This book's going to be amazing. So I ended up having to redo the book in order to fit the submission paragraph that I sent to Diamond. I said, oh, well, you know, I guess I'm going to have to sit here and redo the book. Then a couple of months later, about a year later, I would say, I got really fed up with the market. So I did it anyway. Only I did it in 3 issues. I did Spank the Monkey on the comic market. So the first issue was about comics history. The second one was about the state of the market. The third one was about what we can do to try to improve it. And got used in a couple of community college sequential art courses, but other than that, I'm currently working on a new version of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Get a little
good.
bit more detailed into comics history and stuff. So that's that. But in the meantime, more comments. Sugar's in the house. Red Dress Press.
Hey, Sugar.
Hey,
I'd
how's
like
it
to
going?
get you back on my show sometime, Marv. I'm glad things are going for you. Yep. Says, hey, The Realm. I got that one. Yeah. I need to show Tall Tales to my niece. She's a furry, so she might like it.
Oh,
She
you can
will
read
like
it. You can read it for free at eagleworks.com. You head on over to Tall Tales Online, and you can read the first 20 issues for free.
So get them hooked.
Quick
Get them
plug,
hooked
quick
for
plug.
free.
Yeah,
Give 'em-
exactly.
Give them a taste.
All right.
Love to Red
Or
Dress.
get them at
Thank you.
fairiesandants.com. And they're bigger.
Yes. That Tales from the Anniverse with just the face on the cover was the first one of them I had. Well, thanks, Sugar. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
It was, was that the largest print run? I think that was the largest print run that we did on Tales.
Huh.
Because issue 1, I think, was 10,000. Issue 2 was 5,000 because of the issue 2 curse. And then issue 3 was 15,000.
Yeah. The
Nice.
second
4, I
issue,
think.
yeah.
4,
The
I think, was
second-
15,000 too. Yeah.
Yeah, because the second issue is always going to do about half as the first issue. That even happens
Yeah.
on Kickstarter. There's no escaping it.
I remember getting that Crumb books and a couple of issues of Omaha the Cat Dancer book in the same long box. I panicked and hid them quick.
I had the same reaction. When Omaha came out and I got my first copy, it's like I had the same reaction too, because I'd never seen anything like that. Although what's funny, it's like considering that what I've seen in my grandfather's collection, you would think it wouldn't have surprised me, but it did.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, because my grandfather would have like this whole box full of those little European pulp novels /
Tijuana
comics.
Mhm.
Oh, not
the
Tijuana.
Tijuanas, no.
These
Those are
were
different.
they were just like pulp novels and pulp comics, and yeah. I don't know why Omaha surprised me.
Back in those days, you either
Texas.
read your porn or you had to pick it up in expensive albums and look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you picked up Playboy and said that you read it for the articles.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did.
So did I.
Yeah, no, I read a lot of
It
what
had
the
Kahan
models
Wilson
like.
in it.
An oddly good man beaver was about a kid, not a beaver,
Huh.
which was weird. So,
Yeah, Playboy also ran Jack Cole comic strips
say what?
for a while. Playboy also ran some Jack Cole comic strips.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
while.
that's because Hefner was a big comic nut.
Yeah.
And he tracked Cole down and said, "You need to work for me because I pay professional rates."
Yeah.
So Cole did a number of strips back when he was,
Yeah.
still around.
Hugh Hefner said the entire time his biggest regret was not being able to get Charles Adams, because Charles Adams was exclusive to the New Yorker.
Yeah.
And he wanted Charles Adams so bad.
He did get Gahan Wilson though.
Yes.
Mhm.
For quite a while. I've got a whole volume
And Jack
of Gahan's
Davis.
stuff that
Yeah. Yeah.
who what? Oh, and Jack Davis.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm. I
no, I
so.
don't think he ever printed Jack Davis.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah,
Maybe
he
a
did.
couple
There's
of
a famous
times.
one.
Yeah.
Here's a famous one of this guy waiting on a date with this girl, and her brother's talking to him. He's a little kid. She says, my sister must like you. She's wearing her big chest today.
And now, after all of that history and everything, we have Bunny starting up.
Adding to the tradition.
Adding to the tradition.
Tradition.
Indiegogo.
Welcome to the degeneracy.
Yeah, welcome.
Tell us.
Let's start with the trailer.
That works. Just go for
Can
it.
we-
Yeah, that works.
Make you
Here
share
we go.
sound.
We're not hearing it.
What?
Yeah.
You're not hearing anything.
No.
No.
Did you
No.
share
Dig it
sound
up.
specifically? Are you in
Been here
Chrome?
before.
Yeah, I'm Firefox.
Ah, that's why.
Right. Yeah.
That's what-
It's like a lot of platforms don't like Firewall.
Hold on, I got you covered.
Okay, there
Nobody
we go.
likes
Mike Jimmy will
Firewall.
save the day.
What?
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm coming.
I called up Bunny on YouTube with that spelling. There's a Bunny Gaming
What?
in that with a little bunny.
Uh,
A channel.
Let's see. That is not what I'm looking for.
Subscribers too. Okay. But in the meantime, we
go.
can show that. No,
Yeah, yeah. No, here we go. What are we showing?
back there. You got it, Mike? Go ahead.
There we go.
Welcome
There
to
we are.
the story of Bunny, a classic tale about good and evil, where the rabbits are good and the goblins are bad. Or is it? Bunny is a unique take on classic tale. Writing alone for 4 years, now we are ready to tell the world about something special, comic book treasure, funnycomic.com.
Yeah. Here we go. Setting off. And this is original music by Thomas in the chat. And his original voicing is not an AI voice. It's a voice actor. And I'm trying to make everything as much organic as possible. And Bunny is very organic. let's take a look.
It's made from actual bunny.
Yes. Okay, so this is the map so people can figure out what is going on and where are people. And this is the map of a very small island in the big universe, in the big world of Krea. And this island is isolated from the rest of the world, but it has all the troubles from the world collected here. The thing is,
there's elves. Always the elves. Blame the elves.
Yeah, the elf, there's wolf, there's rabbits, there's everything. And the thing is, the god of destruction, the bear you should not poke at, Ursa, is living in the minds of the goblins. And she will keep sleeping there as long as the goblins have enough black, dark magic to keep her asleep. The rabbits are the good creatures, and they are actually the life essence itself among us. And the white rabbit magic will always create good stuff, and people want them near because good stuff just happens. And the rabbits are so pure innocent that they will not misuse anything. But if you break their hearts somehow, and that's a human thing, we are very, very good at breaking hearts and making profits and being evil and telling people we are not evil. But the rabbits will corrupt themselves when we're screwing them over, and they will turn inwards and they will create the dark magic, and they will seek solitude just to die of sorrow. They'll never use the magic. But the goblins need that magic because they want to rule the world, they want to create chaos, and they want the goddess of destruction to be sleeping. And that's why the king, the old king, he think, oh no, we have the goddess of destruction living on my island, feed some rabbits. And then there was no rabbits available for good things. And the wolf, the mighty wolf, who are the ground forces of the divines, we have a big god who is the moon dragon, and they were coming to the king and say, you are bringing the balance of life in danger. And he was like, oh, fuck you, wolf. And they kill him. so they kill him, and they are the incessant, they are overpowered. They are the divine ground forces, and they are huge, and they are magical, and they are unbeatable. So they just ram in and kill him and say, hey, prince, now you're the king, now you're the keeper of the balance. And then they blow off and say, get real. But in this war, we have this rabbit escaping by biting off her own foot, and she was pregnant with BUNNEH. And that's why when she dies, she gives birth. Yeah, here's the wolf ending the war and saying, hey, you goblin, you should die too. Everything is out of balance. We will kill everybody and reset this island. And here we have the birth of BUNNEH, the Darkborn. She is born and able to use the white and the dark magic. She is also a Mary Sue, an overpowered character, but I have done that on purpose, and I'm balancing. Everything is about balance. I'm balancing this. She is what I believe Rey from the new Star Wars should be, the evil born who doesn't want to be that. She will fight that. She wants to be the good one. She wants to be the chosen one because she is overpowered and she can't save everybody from the goddess of destruction and the goblins and everything's going wrong, but she just can't control herself. So she might destroy the world in her attempt to save it.
Oops.
And here we have a random goblin picking up the foot of the mother who bites off in her escape, and that goblin become the next shaman, the most powerful shaman, sharing some of this extremely powerful magic that came here. And then we have the Gandalf Obi-Wan character, supposedly to take care of the Chosen One, and everything just blows up. And so our story will start when the elf comes. The elves are the ruler of the entire world, but not in this island. They're just representatives coming to this Obi-Wan character named Mr. Hank and saying, we need BUNNEH now. 15 years have been passed. We need it now because the evil humans who are praising the god of destruction, Ursa, the Osanians, have found a way to soul bond with beer and have become overpowered. Everything is overpowered here. So they're threading the essence of, and they're threading the balance of the elves. And now we need something to push that back. And that will be BUNNEH. Maybe not. we will find out. That is the recap of what's going on. And the art and the jokes and the action will reflect most of that we have been talking about today. And that is the essence that Nathan will bring into the product.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with purple
Right.
Kirby Crackle.
Yeah. No, what I always enjoy it is the ability to use this type of cartoony style to tell a serious story.
Yeah.
It's like I always enjoy, and
yeah.
that was always something that I would see a lot with funny animal books. You know, it's like Hamlet or something. You know?
I think that goes all the way back to Grimm's fairy tales, huh?
Yeah. You know, it's like,
Aesop's Fables.
Big
Yeah,
Bad
like-
Wolf. Yeah, Aesop's Fables.
yeah,
And there's like a bone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one I forgot to pull it. Well, I don't know if you'd consider that a funny animal book, would you?
No, I don't know what the bones
I
are.
don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
what the
true.
bones are.
Yeah,
They have those creatures in there, but bone is just one of those that kind of is its own thing, and it's just amazing.
And a granny carrying a cow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You can't go wrong there. Or here. Is this available on Indiegogo? There's a sign-up page over there right now.
There is a pre-launch now on Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
We are 50% done with the first issue of the 7 books. It will be probably 30 pages each book. And between those, I have a little side comic that will be free for those who are in the pre-launch, called Life on Yellow Road, that will tell around BUNNEH, without BUNNEH, but tell what's else going on this stupid island.
Okay.
And it will mainly focus on the foxes, because the foxes is the counterbalance to everything's overpower, because the foxes is 100% non-magical. You cannot throw a fireball on them. It will not affect anything. And you cannot heal them either.
Cool.
So they are best friends with the elves. And here we have, it will be it is drawn by one of our friends, and will be colored by hand.
There we are.
Because we don't like AI anymore. About AI, I have worked with that. I have tested it, and you will find work by me with AI, and that's it. That's it.
No.
That's it.
The art for the other comic is done by Aqua 03. Just want to shout him out for doing the art for the side comic.
Yeah. Aqua
I'm
03,
just too busy
the
to-
bigger fish, aka Ivan. Shout out to him, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we have a little test. We have the hero. Yeah, BUNNEH is not the hero. This guy is the hero. This is Amir. He is a Middle Earth refugee who has been washed up on the island. And he is coming to the Fox's Tavern. Bam, slam. And he has caught this little pup. All right, who cops is this? Oh, not mine. Oh, no, no, Simeon. Someone's in trouble. Oh, you know, the classic. We caught him pickpocketing our king while he was negotiating taxes with the elves. Oh, that's my boy. There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. He's mine. He's mine. Yeah. And with this side comic, I will try to tell the world building in normally people just put all world building slices, pages, and telling this happened. No, I'm trying to tell it organic. I'm trying to tell it. You can follow the story of the island through the eyes of the people on the island.
Cool.
And you get that for free.
And you're about halfway through the first issue. When do you expect the campaign to go live?
Well, the campaign will go live in May, here in 2 months, because why we are waiting for that is because a local cosplay convention want us on stage to talk about this.
Oh, to take it live on stage?
Oh, interesting.
We will be on stage.
Cool.
And when I say we, that means Nathan will come to Sweden.
Yeah, be my first international trip.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Of course.
So no, and the mainly reason for that is because the style of this comic. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It is heavily Nordic inspired. And here we have a children's book in Sweden called Bamse, with funny animals.
Hang on just a second. Let me blow that up. There you go.
There
Oh,
you
look
go.
at that.
Oh, yeah.
This is Bamse. And the art style of Bamse, let me see if I can find this. Why didn't I not put a bookmark on this? Hold on. Put on some music.
We can't. We'll be copyright struck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Mitch, start humming.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, do something.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay. Just joking. There we are.
Here we go. Here we go. Yaggy yaggy yaggy. Blah 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 blah.
How about while you are looking at that, let's do. Oh, you found it. Okay.
There we go. Right as you found it.
Oh,
Sweet.
wow. Yeah.
You see, this is
That's even for me.
This is the art style.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, if you can I put this on? Do I no? How do I get this?
I can add it right there.
There. I was using a mobile game called Pocket Build. It's a sandbox game to build my world. So Nathan could know where do stuff goes, how do I see it.
Huh.
And he took that into the Nordic inspiration Bamse architecture and made what we see on the comic.
Yeah,
Accidentally, by the way. I hadn't looked at any of that stuff before.
Well, it's a very classic style. Like just a lot of cartoonists use that variations of that style.
I think mainly, like with a lot of artists, buildings, stuff like that. I'm much better at drawing characters, so I really have to simplify my buildings and stuff. I neglected learning perspective for a really long time, so I'm kind of in the middle.
Too. Don't worry.
I'm in the middle of like relearning all of that, so I can actually make better stuff. And but working on this project has significantly leveled me up because I've had to do things that I never would have tried in my own work. Gotcha. So That's why I do love this project, because I've grown so much since I started. It's great.
If you see this page, this is Nathan's page, and if you click up the slide, can I do that? No, I'm not allowed to do anything.
Right there? Yeah.
There you have the comparing how I see it, how I think it should be, and how it turned out.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
I see.
That's
So
how,
you're doing.
it's have been a tool for us.
You're doing
and-
writer storyboards with
Yeah.
the game
Yeah.
tools,
Yeah.
right?
Huh. Cool.
And it will never turn out the way I think it should be, because I'm not an artist.
No,
And
but
the
the
very-
idea is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what we are working. This is actually the other screen, please. Thank you. Here we go. The motto we work for, and this is from the contract we have made. Artist has the final say in art, and the writer will respect the knowledge of visual experience from the artist's perspective. The writer has the final say in the comic story, plot, and dialogue. The artist will respect the writer's vision and try to portray this vision in visual art.
You might want to stick an editor in between the two.
I was gonna say, like, as both an editor, a comic creator, and a comic writer, I am scared.
Just as a buffering. Yeah. Marvy has to go. Marvy, take care. Have a great
Take care, Marv.
have a great
Bye.
week, man. We'll see you.
But how do you see it, Nathan? Do you feel that I am over the top, that I'm carrying you around, or do we have this respect?
No, I think we have a good balance together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
simple.
it's actually pretty funny that you bring that up, considering that the whole writer versus artist debate is rearing its ugly head again online.
I think I have also, you know, since I also write my own comics, you know, we can help each other out. If there's certain things that don't always work, you know, you got two heads there. I can help with spelling errors, stuff that doesn't necessarily translate into English well.
Right.
So we that's why I think we work really well together, because, you know, we both know what each one of our strengths is, and we work with it.
Cool.
So it's pretty awesome.
Looks great. Folks, you need to go over to Indiegogo now to Bunny, BUNNEH, The Darkborn Rabbit, Volume 1, and sign up so that you can get that free comic and be informed when the campaign goes live.
That's right.
Yes.
It's over on
Exactly.
Indiegogo right now under BUNNEH, Bunny, The Darkborn Rabbit, Volume 1.
And you will also find everything on bunnycomic.com.
Bunny Comic, that all one word, Bunny Comic.
bunnycomic.com.
Okay.
You find it there. Also the novels and
There's
everything
novels
else.
too.
Wait, would you have novels?
There's novels.
Wow. But wait, there's more.
Right. It's like, so there's, well, I mean, it's like you did say you have this entire universe, and sometimes comics, they're not big enough to, or at least you literally don't have the staff.
Yeah.
He's got to have something to do while it takes me forever to do a page.
There you go.
You know what? I feel that one hard.
Let me show you something. If you put up my screen. Okay. No? Okay, so this is me scrolling my notes, my lore, and it will go on forever.
Bunny Notes.
Funny notes.
Bunny Notes.
Bunny Notes.
BUNNEH notes.
Bunny Notes.
BUNNEH.
BUNNEH.
And BUNNEH is actually a username from the game Pocket Build.
Okay.
I started there. I was on the Discord or the Twitter of this pocket build game, and I was just building, and I said I need a story, so I started to make screenshots with those characters and gave them stories, and people in that community was, hey, this is fun, this is good. Can you do something about me? Yeah. What's your and she was BUNNEH something, and yeah, okay. And I came up with a rabbit who was killing goblins, and it just went on from there.
Cool.
Works.
Yep.
Whatever
works.
pulls in the inspiration, right?
It does. BUNNEH Comics or BUNNEHcomic.com. Go over there and sign up. Indiegogo under Bunny the Dark.
Bunny the Darkborn.
Bunny the Darkborn Rabbit, Volume 1.
Yeah.
Go over there and sign up now, folks. Get in on this.
Figure out
great,
will
comic.
she save us all or kill us all?
Yes.
Why not both?
Absolutely.
And no, this is not Disney. It's indie.
Yes.
Everything can.
Exactly.
Everything
So, yes.
can go.
Everything goes. Literally.
Yeah.
Nothing
And now-
survives.
We're getting to the end of the show, unfortunately. So as we go around the room one more time and you tell everybody where they can reach you, let us know what your favorite funny animal comic is. Or if there's anything, especially if there's anything that we neglected to mention today. So Mitch, tell
Yes.
folks how they can get a hold of you.
You can get a hold of me down here at Linktree / oh. Yeah, there you
There we
go.
are.
Linktree / Celtic Cross Studios.
Took a second.
You can find my website, online store, socials, everything else, and donate to the Boger relaunch ongoing series Kickstarter campaign, which is not Kickstarter.
No wonder.
Indiegogo.
Yeah. There you go.
Close.
Indiegogo campaign. If you want to get the first issue, it's currently available. It's currently running. It's got 44 days left. So.
Sweet.
And you can catch up on everything that the Boger has been in, that Mitch has worked on, and he's done a lot of that work over there. There's a special tier over on the Indiegogo campaign for a couple of graphic novels of the first two story arcs, where you can catch up to the Boger and get the first issue of the new regular series.
Yep.
That
5 covers. 5 variant
covers.
Oh, yes, 10. 5 variant covers.
Sweet.
Daphne,
Yes.
tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. You can also check out all my videos here on YouTube at my channel, Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And you can read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn for free at my website. Uploads every day, Monday through Friday, in full color. It's the full color Kickstarter edition. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings type of adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and read. Not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you could also read the new story arc, which continues, which is a direct continuation of the Thieves Quest storyline, which uploads every day, Monday through Friday. So you can check out the book for free, so I can get my hooks into you. So when my Kickstarter comes out, you know, you like that.
You're hooked.
Yeah. Any funny animal books that you like that we may not have mentioned?
Oh wow! I mean, it's like, look, Oscar Martin, who does Solo, right? And also, when I was in Paris, I picked up one of his other books, The Guild. I mean, Oscar Martin is just he's a animator. He used to work at Disney. And I mean, really, it's like, how can you say no to this?
Yeah.
You know?
Nice coloring.
Yeah,
Beautiful
and
work.
I think that Solo is being published in the United States. I'm not sure if it's by Dark Horse or another. Or if it's not Dark Horse, it's another company. But Solo, Cannibal Universe is being published in the United States now.
Cool.
So you can check that out. So Oscar Martin.
Yeah, I'm just picking it up from his website. So I'm not.
Yeah.
What is that, Russ? Oh, I know what that is.
You know what that is? That's
Yeah.
just that's the intro page from what we're doing next. So there you go.
Ooh. Is somebody working on something like rhymes with Shmonen? Is somebody working on something?
It's something that rhymes with bull.
Oh.
Yeah, bull. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That's going to be great. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me at russleach.com. You can find me in the pages of Batman. Hero Time Presents Batman over in UK and Europe. I'm on the 4th issue currently. You can find me on Amazon with all kinds of books from Mark Hosier. Here's one of them, Terms of Fenton's Green. Nice bit of gothic horror. You can also find me in my own books over from New Haven, or actually, you can't get hold of this one anymore because the Indiegogo is now closed. But it will be going to New Haven / Viking Comics Press and will be released pretty soon, later on in the year.
Well done.
Later on in the year. So you can find out all those things there. You can go sign up for my email list, please. That would always be good, so I can keep you abreast of all the things that are going on, like my appearances in Doctor Who magazine or the latest projects that I'm doing with Randy. And also go check out my Instagram. There's a new piece of artwork, like the piece you just seen, every day. All the connections, all the network, all the internet connections. You know what they are, hyperlinks. I'm old. You can get them all on russleach.com and you can find me there. So just click the links. I'll be somewhere on the end of them.
Okay. Mike, Jimmy, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me and everything I publish and create over on fairysands.com, including Love and Korra Volume 1 coming up in about 2 months. So nearly done translating, and then I'm just going to go to printers and be done. Because, well, we put all the things together. So even if you want all the other books, by all means, get your copies over there. The hardcover is no longer available there. I will only make them available through conventions here, or if you're lucky, you just hit me up personally. And as for Funny Animal Comics, the Marsupilami, but especially this one, a reimagination, The Beast.
Dang.
Which is the Marsupilami being totally badass. Hold on. Where is it?
Tell you, it's such beautiful albums over there.
This
books. Just
I'm waiting
beautiful.
for part 2. This has been for about 2 years now, but it is absolutely gorgeous.
Great coloring again.
Yeah. I love these. Absolutely amazing.
A lot of great influences in there. Russ, I didn't ask. Any favorite funny animal books we didn't mention?
Not really my thing. I would have to say Howard the Duck is about it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There we go. See, tell folks how they can find you.
Oh, as always, my Linktree /C Michael Lanning in the pages of Calico of Shard right there on aerocomics.store. The Doghouse Kickstarter that's going on right now. It's got about 5 days left. Check that out. Sketchy Saturday next week, and starting April 4th, Build a Comic Workshop with Chad Perkins. We'll be doing a comic book live, so you can see how we could fail so many times.
Just like the real thing.
Just like real life.
Remember, there are no failures. There are only lessons.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Nathan,
lesson is don't watch this.
Hold on now. You forgot me in my animal comic.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What
Go ahead.
What I'm enjoying now is the Oswald.
Yeah. Absolutely.
From the great J.D. Calderon.
Good move. Good move.
Yes, all right, I see the check cleared.
And the background, Calico and Tall Tales are
What
set.
happens when you say you like my comic book pages, J.D.? So just let you know.
There we go. Nathan.
Yes.
Dragon Sparkling.
Yes. So this is it's also my favorite funny animal book. So there you go.
Okay.
That's my own thing. But you guys can find me. I'm pretty much on most social medias. I think I'm probably the most active on Instagram. You can find me at Nathan McWilliams or at Nathan K McWilliams on all one word. I also have a link tree. It's also Nathan K McWilliams. But yeah, I pretty much shared all my other funny animal books on the during the stream. So pretty much it's what's left is mine, my funny animal book.
And that Tapas link is in the chat. So
yes, it is. And it's also in my link tree as well.
This link tree. Awesome. Excellent. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
How can I follow all that? I'm older than everybody here. You can find most of my books and magazines and things on Amazon. You can find me in the page of this, my visits to Jack Kirby's house. You can find my artwork in this, which is I can't really say about this at the moment. It's going to be appearing somewhere soon. Let me just say that.
Somewhere, sometime, someplace.
Yeah,
everywhere, everything all at once.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like when you're waiting for a bus, isn't it? You know, 5 come at the same time. Same with that one. But you can find me on Amazon with Comics Unlimited, which is my magazine about comics. It's a 100-page. Epic stuff in here. Randy's in here, Russ is in here, even I'm in it sometimes. Daphne's been in it. Everybody.
A couple issues back in there.
I haven't.
Yeah, well,
still waiting.
You know, calm down. You've got longer than I have left.
That is the right answer right there.
Anyway, my favorite furry animal, or whatever you call them, well, I have to say that I like furry animals less than I like Lord of the Rings. Which is well documented. So I appreciate the work and the beauty of them all, but I don't particularly go for that kind of thing, you know. You can also you can also it's called experience for us. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram and all the usual stuff. Just put my name in Google, you'll find something there.
All right. Jens, where can people find you?
In Sweden.
There we are.
All right. If I can't buy a ticket, where next?
All right. Yeah.
Well, on bunnyconnect.com, of course, and I will be mostly reachable on my Discord. There's a link on the homepage too, and you will find me on Facebook also, and will be in the network. Yeah. By the way, thank you for inviting me to the network. It's very, very cozy here.
Hope you enjoyed yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself very much. And please, now that I feel that I'm talking to the big shots out there, hello. I would like to ask you, but only if you actually think that Bunny is worth, just share it. If not, thank you for listening. I believe in collecting organic. And right now on my pre-launch, I have 13 people signing up. And for me, that is a success because those people believe in it. And it's just not regular numbers and people try and go viral on TikTok. I cannot use numbers. I can use people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So hook me up. Join my Discord. Write to me on Facebook. That's mostly where I am. Come to Sweden and watch me on stage when I will make a fool out of myself and Nathan properly. But
I'll be drawn.
Great. I hope it goes real well.
And for my favorite, this is my childhood, Rasmus Klump. Yeah, that one.
Rasmus Klump.
And
we talked about that off camera. Yeah, what a great looking book.
It's from the late 50s, and the art is like this, and the text will go below because children need to learn to read properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you see the pelican has a beak with infinity space. It's very, very.
It's a TARDIS.
It's like Secret Squirrel's cloak. Yeah.
So if you are playing Skyrim and you need more space, just get a pelican.
There you are.
There you go.
Sweet. Fantastic. And folks, I've been your host. I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over at my work over at aerocomics.store, where you can find such works as Calico of Shard, which is a fantasy title I'm really proud of, with artwork by C. Michael Lanning. You can find Paragon over there, with it's a great superhero story. I'm also proud of, with artwork by J.R. Harris. You can find a book that I do pretty much on my own called Herobot Zero. It's the adventures of a 3-foot-tall giant robot as he defends his city from large monsters, as long as he's on the clock and can get time and a half for overtime. There are actually 2 issues out there. One with a cover by Broken Toe Scott Rosema.
That's
He
how we
broke his
broke his
toe
toe.
illustrating that.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did it afterwards, but that's okay. Anyway,
That's
Scott, we
the job.
hope you're better. And very, very soon, because I just got all the colors in on it, you'll actually be able to catch a copy of Fool #1 up there, available shortly in color, which is beautiful. That has artwork by Chris Tyson. That is also a character that I can't wait for people to read. That had a very limited run back when it was first out by a little-known comic company called Mythic Comics that only kicked out maybe 4 books, and 3 of them were mine, and none of the royalty checks. So that's the way it worked. Anyway, but you'll see more of that character in there. He kind of fits in with Paragon, and it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. There's your blue man there. Jens. Yeah.
There you
Cool.
go.
Love him. That's awesome.
Here we go. You don't
never
have to
go
be
wrong.
big to be successful.
Right.
There
Yeah.
you go. Right.
That's what I keep telling myself too.
Look at Jimmy Cagney. He was tiny.
There you go. Folks, we want to thank you again for watching Sunday Funnies, or at least listening to us. We're always archived over on the Indie Comics Network. There's some great shows and other Sunday Funnies episodes over there. You can catch me next Friday morning at 5 a.m. here on the Indie Comics Network of Comics by Night. Russ will probably be there yawning, and so will Glenn. Hopefully, well, not yawning, but we'll all be there. We're going to be going over the Alex Toth InDesign book and looking at some of the character sheets that Alex has done. If you're not familiar with the work, you're definitely going to enjoy yourself by looking at it. Alex is the creator of a long run of practically all of the Hanna-Barbera superheroes were designed by Alex. Space Ghost, Birdman, Mighty Mightor, all of those great works, including all the villains, all the ships, everything like that. And there's some really great character sheets there that we'll be going over and looking at. And also, if you haven't been exposed to Alex Toth's style, he's very minimalistic. It's very solid work and just incredible design stuff that I think you'll be amazed. He also designed the initial run of Super Friends, the second team of Super Friends. He pretty much did over a weekend, and all of the villains from Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. If you ever saw that, that was pretty crazy. But we're looking forward to that. Next Sunday, we will cover really oddball superheroes, what we called Second Banana, but nice. Glenn hates bananas. So just oddball superheroes. We showed you a few of them before, like Fat Man, the Human Flying Saucer, and the Bouncer, and a few of those characters. Maybe even we'll get into Legion of Superheroes and talk about Matter Eater Lad and Chlorophyll Kid. All of those.
We're going to do Brother Power the Geek.
We
can
really
do Brother
reaching.
Power the Geek. Say what?
They were really reaching.
That was just fun stuff. That's all. Awesome. What's your power? I bounce off things. You're in.
All right.
Works.
It's all good. No, that was Infectious Last. She didn't make it because she made everybody sick in the tryouts. They put her in the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Infectious.
Wow. Well, we could read that a whole bunch of different ways, can't we?
Yeah. They all caught colds. It wasn't anything serious.
She had a secondary special power of turning into a bike.
There you are. We won't talk about what Porcupine Pete did when he was on he was being trying out. He's in the Substitute Legion too, just for that reason. Anyway, folks, take care. See you next Sunday as well, 9 a.m. Sunday mornings here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com. Any last words from anybody? And there's so many funny animal books out there, so many great books out there. I couldn't name them all. Albedo Anthropomorphics, we really didn't show you a cover of. Great work by Steve Galassi, I believe his last name was. Just some unbelievable great stuff if you go digging. So
well then,
feel free. Make sure you look for Bunny.
She's finally back, guys. We need to enjoy this.
I guess Everybody's waiting for it. Buy
What?
independent comics,
There you go.
especially ours.
Yep.
Woo! Just like old times.
Legend
Just
is
like
back.
old times.
Love it.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks again, everybody. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll go out with a couple of trailers and what were we going to play? We were going to play something here. What was that?
That
Oh yeah,
doghouse thing.
Doghouse.
Fun, yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
See ya.
Take care, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
week.
you.
Love you all. See ya.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback, enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information. This special edition gives you even more value in entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo.
In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Bye, Jack.
We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.